Welcome to the Health, Weight Loss and Wellness Show. And today we're talking to Bernadette Bruckner. Let me just tell you a little bit about this power-packed lady. Bernadette is an international holistic trainer in health, nutrition and mental health with a focus on resilience methods. Founder of the IMM, Intuitive Mentoring Method, and the 1 Minute Coaching to Go. Bernadette also has a master's in health management, PhD, with a focus on psycho-linguistic and neuroplasticity, and like so much more, a big massive list, too long for even the screen. Welcome to the show, Bernadette. So good to be speaking with you again, because you've been with us before.
Hello from Austria, the country with no kangaroos, but with the apple strudel.
With the what, sorry?
With the apple strudel.
Apple strudel. Oh, I could go some apple strudel right now. It's cold here. Apple strudel would be beautiful. Do you have cream or ice cream?
No way. It's with vanilla sauce. It's actually not the original one, but it's a good one.
A vanilla sauce.
Yes.
Ooh, I could go vanilla sauce on the apple strudel. Now, you're going to talk to us today about self-care and the importance of it. And you've got some clever little tips, fun tips for us too for self-care. So I want to really just dive straight in and hand it over to you.
Mm-hmm. As I'm coming from a bakery, that's why I was talking about the apple strudel. I grew up with food all around. And I don't know how's it in your country, but in my country, we have tons of values and beliefs about food, about self-care, about what's good, what's not good, what's savoring actually. And as more as I grew up, because I became overweight, of course, I mean, with all the good food around. And I got tons of belief how women should be, how women should function, how women should not be, because a woman should not be loud, should not be wild, and should not do anything what's actually not nice and naughty. And I'm like, I'm like, I don't like this one. I want to be me. I want to discover who I am as person, as human, and actually loving life and not working a lot. My mom, I don't want to say she was a workaholic, but I got a lot of values about working, and the word of woman. When we work a lot, be nice, and just don't say too much. As my grandma was a war child, she always said to me, "Don't be too loud, otherwise you get killed." And this is sentences what are very profound and imprinting our living. And I'm pretty sure a lot of women got the self-worth together with we have to work harder than men. We have to know way much more than men. We always get the comparison with men.
Yeah.
And when you look globally, I'm pretty sure I don't want to say similar, but the same, or kind of the same, like in your country or in other countries, that this is a man's world.
Yeah.
And yet, who is actually doing all the work? And it sounds so weird. I don't know how was it with you in COVID-19, but the women were holding up the system mostly in hospitals, in the grocery stores and everything else, because nowadays most men have the management work, and the women are those who do the rest of the work.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. And what about, and I want to invite everybody out there to look at yourself. What are you actually doing for you? I'm working with so many women and with so many mothers, and they always say to me, first the other ones. I have to take care of this one and this one and this one, and with my children and my husband and this and this and this. And I said, who is taking care of you? And they're like, doesn't matter. Or like sentence like this, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
First, and there's only one situation where we learn that first it's your turn, and then the others is when you get instructions, when you do the flyings, and we have to get the instruction to get first the mask on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what about the rest of your life? At the moment, we're not flying that much, do we? So it's actually time. And I truly want to invite you to write down for yourself, what are you doing for you every single day? And do you still have the jar?
Yes, we have the journal and the promise jar for this event as well.
That's good. Promise, give yourself in your jar a promise for yourself. Taking care every single day for you.
Yeah.
And also putting in little treats. And I'm not talking about food, by the way. Treats can be so much more, so much different. If it's a time out from others is also a good treatment.
Yeah.
Find yourself. And I ask also so many people at the moment when I'm do my trainings about corporate health. I ask the people, what is health for you?
Good question.
And it's there. We get so many concepts about health from others, from school or university, from media, from whatever person. And I ask, what is your belief or value or thinking when you hear the word health? Self-care should be one of the above one. And just write it down for you and ask yourself, from whom did I get this belief or this concept about health? Is it actually my concept?
Yeah, good questions.
There are so many people out there who overtake it like without any questioning different concepts. And we should critically rethink and question where the concepts come from. And especially women, we do so much. I have only my background story. I have 3 burnouts behind me. I was highly suicide because I took care since childhood for everybody else, but not for me. My biggest gift to myself was finding self-care, a self-care zone.
Oh yeah,
and listen
about that.
And ask yourself in the self-care zone, what do you want to put in?
Yeah.
For me, it's traveling.
Yeah.
For me, is looking for my body and not going to any concepts of diets or anything, but I just listen to my body. And when I want to treat myself something nice, a time out, because I truly work a lot, but a timeout day or a timeout hour or whatever, even when I supposed to be doing something for whatever reason, something,
Giving
I still do
yourself
it.
that permission, right, to take that time.
Yes.
Without all the guilt.
Yes. The guilt can wait.
Yeah.
And also pamper myself and my body. There are a couple of things, because I tried the last year so many things. And I found for myself, for example, in Vienna, I have a floating studio where only lying in the water and I'm floating in there for 1 hour. There's no music, no light, nothing. And I get so relaxed.
Yeah, wow. That'd be great.
And there's more as I try different things, because truly, do you know what is good for you?
Yeah, that's right. You're right. Unless you try, you won't know.
Yes, exactly. And this there's so many different things. And I'm like, we are in a time more than ever. We have so many possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And yet we have no idea what we actually like. And I'm like, no, I want to try so many things out there. At the moment, I try something different, where the water get energized. And I love it. I got it yesterday, and I'm like, I'm drinking so much more water, and I'm like, I like it. It tastes different, and it's just good, and I feel my body likes it. So perfect.
That's something so simple, isn't it? By changing, the water that you're drinking makes you feel so good, and it's like a little gift that you're giving yourself. And it's not like, something that's going to take 3 hours out of your day to plan and organize. And, you know, that's a nice little gift that you give to yourself because you're exploring, right? So that's what I'm hearing. You're exploring all the possibilities. And in the meantime, with you exploring all those different possibilities and all the things that you like and what's good for you, you're doing all these amazing things for yourself in the meantime, while you're exploring what you like.
Yes, exactly. And this is, I mean, we are coming from the health field. I just want to try what's actually out there.
Yeah.
Only to recommend it for others when it's good for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we are experts. And I'm like, when I have no idea if it's good for me or not, and just do it right away and sell it to others, I want to try and know what's actually good out there, recommend it to others.
Yeah.
And if they take it or not, it's like, I feel myself very much better.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say I invited a hashtag, but I call it health nudges. Small things where you don't have, as you said, organize like, I don't know, a couple of days only to have 2 hours of treatment. Small things. If you change small things, I don't want to say daily, but maybe weekly.
Yeah.
And see the difference. Then you actually explore yourself, your body, and what feels good for you.
Yeah.
Because most people have their common things, their habits, and they just do it and do it and do it. But is it actually healthy?
Yeah.
When you never question yourself, your habits, your values, and everything what you get and condition, you don't know. Just try. Just do it.
And I think you should, well, if you see something that really sparks your interest, and you're like, and in that moment when you're like, oh, that looks good, you know, like, I wouldn't mind trying that. I suggest they're the best times to go ahead and try it, is when when you notice it, when you might notice a program, or you might notice a treatment, book it in. Just go ahead and book it in. Don't question it. Try it. If you don't like it, you don't have to marry it.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And it's like, as child, what are we doing?
Yeah.
We spot something, we are totally getting excited, we just try it, and either we like it or we don't like it.
Yeah.
And as grown up, we are like thinking everything and whatever, oh, I can't, I don't know, it's too expensive or whatever. Just treat yourself nice. We only live once here.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, I tried the last 10, 15 years so much stuff, and yes, I found mine, what I know, it's I just like it. Like, I love Bikram yoga, I love like massage and all the nice treatments, and we have a day spa in Vienna.
I love that stuff.
Like that. Yes. For me, example, I don't like flying anymore. I go by bus, I go by train. And my people have no idea where I am. And this is self-care for me and treatment. Deluxe. And even when others say, why are you not traveling like nicer? And I'm like, this is for me nice.
Yeah, because you're tuning out and you're blocking everyone out.
Yes, exactly. And for everybody else, it's just different. What self-care is different, what a nudges is, small things was just nice.
Yeah.
And find out for yourself.
So thinking about, you know, self-care and those small little changes, say I'm somebody out there and I'm sitting here going, I really want to supercharge my health, my wellness, or, you know, make it a big change with my weight loss. What would you say would be your strategy around that? What would you, if you were doing it for yourself or for a client, and they're coming to you saying, I want to be super healthy, you know, no matter where they're starting from, they might be starting from scratch, halfway, or already healthy. What would be your go-to strategy for that?
First, I ask themselves, what is health for you?
Yeah, I like that question.
And then next one, what I'm doing it, what on you and your body do you judge the most? Because most of us going from, I don't like this one, I want like this one. So I'm judging at this point, at the moment where they're coming to me, and I'm like, what exactly don't you like on yourself?
Yeah.
Self-love, and I even say radical self-love is the first step towards you, towards
Yeah.
self-caring,
So
towards
radical self-care. Well, sorry, what does radical self-love look like? You know, like just to explain that, what would that look like for people?
Again, you get a very practical methods now. Take 2 pieces of paper. The first paper, draw yourself, the way you believe you see yourself, and mark everything what you don't like with red or whatever. On the next paper, you draw your future self and mark what you like on your future self the most. And what feeling is giving you the future self on this picture.
Yeah.
Because self-care or radical self-care is always about the way I feel, not the way I look like. How do I feel myself about myself?
Yeah.
And what do I don't like at the moment on me, what I want to like in the future on me?
Yeah.
The body follows. Because when you begin to love yourself, to accept yourself the way you are, to like yourself the way you are, you begin to treat yourself nicely.
Yeah.
And it begins also with your self-talk. I ask so many of my clients and even my students, do you listen to yourself, what you said about yourself at this moment?
Yeah.
And they are not even aware. And I'm like, how can you talk so bad about yourself?
Yeah.
And lately, and truly, I got it this week, a video. And I want to share it with you because this is for me so brilliant. It calls reverse trash talking. We know trash talking about wrestling. And this guy did it with Hugh Jackman, by the way. I'm a huge fan of Hugh. He's an Australian, and so he's brilliant.
Yeah.
And he's actually doing reverse. That means you're yelling on yourself or on others nice words. I thought I will share. I thought this is so brilliant.
Yeah, I love.
And I don't know, but in Austria, it's like the first thing when people are talking with you is always about bad things, and I'm like, I don't want anymore.
Yeah.
We had in Austria a commercial, and he calls our complaint-free zone. I did that with my working colleagues. I had on my office, it was a complaint-free zone. So when the people wanted to come to me and complain, I said, no, you can complain 2 meters away from me, but I'm in my complaint-free zone.
Yeah.
Do you know what happened? They complained less and less and less.
Yeah.
Begin with yourself. Complain less about it. Make your body a complaint-free zone.
Yeah.
And find yourself nice words.
It doesn't really focus you on all that negative stuff, doesn't it?
Yes.
And I think I sometimes we need to verbalize, and I think we can verbalize it and say it once, but when we repeat it over and over, like even when we first got on this call, I had no list of my complaints that was going on today, right? So when you verbalize it, you know, you're hearing it, you're speaking it, it's okay to do it the once, but if you're doing it over and over, you're reinforcing it. And you've done a lot of neuro-linguistic programming and training, so you more than anyone, and plus your PhD, understand that what that language means. So I just want the speakers to understand that when Bernadette's talking about this stuff and she's saying, you know, have a complaint-free zone and also think about yourself before how you're feeling when you don't like yourself and how you're feeling when you do like yourself is really important, because, and you're very qualified to be talking about this stuff. And what that actually does to you is, if you think about that, when you think about how you want to look and how you feel when you look that way, you can feel that now.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when you connect with that and you really connect with that visualization, you're creating that feeling in that moment. So if you can create that feeling in that moment, visualizing how you want to feel and how you want to look, you can create that feeling whenever you want, even now. So really the journey of what you want to where, from here where you are to where you want to be is all in your head, really, isn't it?
The interesting thing is, there are so many people out there who diet and diet and diet, have then the so-called perfect picture, but they're still not happy.
Yeah.
And they still don't like them. And I'm like, no. It's never about the way you look. It's about the way you feel.
Yeah.
And I want to give you another method about radical self-care and self-loving. Stand in front of a mirror and don't judge yourself when you see yourself.
Yeah.
And the best part is naked and just stare at you, watch at you, and be grateful that you're alive, that you're healthy, and that you're in a body where you can do whatever you want to do. And it's never about the tempo, because today we said, I'm not, it's not fast, I can't do this one. Yes, but it doesn't matter. Because when you take the concept of time, Einstein said time is relative. I have days I'm so fast, at the end I'm like bored because I'm finished. And I'm like, what I'm doing now? And there are days where like, I have no idea how to handle it. And it's still the same 24 hours.
Yes, that is so true. That is so true.
Like, there are a couple of things what won't run away. It's like cleaning the house. If you don't do it, it's not running away. It's totally okay when you're not, when it's just waiting another day.
So how would you harness that feeling? Like both you and I know how to do that, but for the person watching, what kind of practices can they do? How can they harness that feeling? Even standing in the mirror, how are they going to stand in the mirror and not have those thoughts? Like, what is there a trick to that? Is there a method? Obviously not thinking it, but I think people will automatically go there. So how do they then train themselves out of that?
Take it as fun journey. The first time when you're in the mirror, you will judge.
Yeah.
The second time, on another day, you will judge less.
Yeah.
On the third day, because it's all about endurance. It's all about training.
Yeah.
Because our bad habits didn't come from one day to another. We trained ourselves, but it was not the best training on the bad stuff. Yeah. We can do that with the good stuff too.
If we were teaching, we should be fired.
Yeah. Every single day. The first day, you will hate it. The second day, maybe two. The third day, the fourth day, The fifth day, I begin to like it.
Yeah.
And it's all, it's
once you stop kind of judging yourself, do you have no judgment, good or bad? Or do you start saying, oh, I like that part about me, or I thank my belly because I had a baby? Do you do that, or do you practice not judging at all and just seeing a body, a vessel?
The first step is becoming neutral, that you don't judge yourself anymore. The second step is seeing it's positive, or you believe it's not nice. As you said, you got a baby. You don't have to be a perfect model figure, whatever, afterwards. Maybe you can, but it's not about to compare with others, because who is telling you, who is saying you that you're not perfect? Only when we begin to compare with others. And I can tell you, Photoshop can do a lot.
Yeah.
If you see the so-called models or the other ones, and I saw already a couple because I was traveling a lot worldwide, internationally,
Yeah.
imperfect. They
That's
are also humans.
they also feel the same way as we do. And I guess for them too, I mean, they're gorgeous people, but they also see themselves photoshopped. And so that tells them that they're not perfect either.
And the
That's
same
the
is
message
also
that
with,
we're giving them, you know.
yes, exactly. And the same with makeup and everything else.
Yeah, that's why I
And
don't wear
that's,
makeup anymore.
yeah, me neither. But because I just, um, I have problems afterwards with my skin.
Yeah.
But the interesting part is when I have a lot of nice pictures for my business, and there's one person, and he's Austrian. His name is Manfred Baumann. He's international photographer, star photographer, and he's in Austria. And I said, last 2 years, no, last year, I savored myself and getting pictures from him for my birthday. His wife was so gorgeous, and makeup was like, I after the photo shoot, I had no idea who is this person. And
Yeah.
it's still me.
Oh, really? Wow.
And this is so interesting. Everybody of us is beautiful
Yeah. So
in
who,
their unique way.
with the Photoshop person, it's like the person who's doing the Photoshop decides what beauty is or what looks good or what's a flaw and what's not a flaw. So it comes down to one person's personal taste or personal preference that they, you know, it, and then it becomes this, you know, they're seeing it through a filter, their own filter. And
Yes,
you know,
yes,
projection, right? So you know that we often project, and it could be something, someone doing the Photoshop could be projecting what they don't like about themselves and photoshopping that on someone else when there's nothing wrong with the way they naturally look. So, you know, that's a whole can of worms, isn't it, really, Photoshop? So if you just go
commit.
back to the mirror, sorry, just going back to the mirror work. So what you're saying is, first off, you know, you'll stand in the mirror and you might really hate it at first, but then you know, you get more used to it. But while you're there, start being grateful for your body and thinking of gratitude statements around the body is what you're suggesting, like thanking the belly because you got to have children, thanking the, you know, the aging of your body, knowing that you've got life experiences. Would it be
Yes,
something around that? Because I just wanted to know whether it was us trying not to have a judgment, good or bad. Because, you know, I hear there's one guy, Gary V, and he says he doesn't take on the good feedback from people or the bad, right?
exactly.
So he doesn't put value in the positive stuff. He doesn't, I guess he doesn't value himself on that.
Exactly.
So I just wondered, you know, what
Mhm.
that does on a NLP side of things if we had no judgment at all.
That's why I said first become neutral. I
Right.
see me,
Yeah. Okay.
I just don't judge it.
Right.
The second, and you know, for some people, the first step is enough. Just don't have any value in there. The second is just being grateful. It's never about you just begin to be grateful, and your body will react on it.
Yeah.
Your body is listening in which direction ever you are saying it. When you complain every single moment about you and your body will know.
Yeah.
When you be grateful for your body will know too.
Yeah.
And if you be neutral, your body will know too.
Yeah. And I think also be neutral when we look at others and try this on, stop complimenting people on how they look. You know, at first when you know, greetings like, oh, you look great, or I like your hair, or oh, have you lost weight? You know, really it took me a while to get out of that habit of complimenting people by the way they look, right? Because we're in this society where we judge by the way we look. So we really have to change that kind of perception in ourselves as well, because again, projection. So when we're noticing somebody looking good or looking better or losing weight, we're putting a value on that by speaking that out loud to them. So rather, you know, I now like to say, hey, it's good to see you, or it's good to catch up with you. You're looking well, or you look healthy. You know, it's hard to kind of even get away from that scenario, whether there's a value in that, right? When we're doing that and we're meeting up with people and we're seeing people, there's a value in that, in even saying those things. You're looking well.
I do it very intuitively, because I found out extrovert person or people, it's sometimes you can support them when you do it. As an introvert like me, for me, it's like when someone is telling that, okay, but I'm still listening to myself.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can support people with those words, as you said before, and sometimes it's not necessary anymore, or they're like an introvert, which it doesn't count for them, or like an Asperger. When you have an Asperger person, it's like a form of autism. It's like it doesn't matter what you're saying with this one.
Yeah.
And I just do it intuitively. I'm a high sensitive person, and when I feel, and it's interesting because a lot of people are not used to get compliments. I see it in Austria, and when I give them compliments, they're totally perplexed sometimes, because either they never got it, or they never experienced it. And I had people, only because I give them compliments, they begin to cry because they never got compliments.
Yeah.
So you can support them to open up too.
Yeah.
But if you would ask me now how I know it, I have no idea. I just do it intuitively.
Yeah. Look, we can do that. We can support people without it being about their size and shape. You know, we don't have to say, oh, have you lost weight? Because sometimes we could be complimenting an eating disorder. So I always like to try and skip that and compliment people on their worth. That's got nothing to do with their, you know, size and shape or what outfit, you know, like that whole, you know, commercialism that we've got is, you know, fashion and size and shape and makeup. And I try not to, it's hard sometimes because you're so used to it, but I try not to compliment people on those things, because to me, you know, people are worth more than that, aren't they?
Yes. And sometimes I always say the world is too superficial.
Yeah.
We can go way much deeper.
Yeah.
And the interesting part is that I have in my friend circle a lot of people who are officially overweight, but they are so happy people. They're so happy, confident, and everything, and it doesn't matter the way you look.
Yeah.
It always matters how you feel.
Yeah.
And that's why I said this with the two pictures. And as you said, when you can feel the future emotion, then you have this emotion already in you. Take it.
I love that idea. That's really good. So if we were thinking about, all right, well, we're gonna go down this journey now. I've got this fire in my belly. I want to go down the journey of, you know, improving my health or my weight or my wellness. What's your go-to? What would be your number one go-to? Where would you start?
What I did, and this is because I not only created my own coaching therapy style, but also a nutrition style, where I teach people to listen to the body again. And my core method is one thing. I delete the values or the filters or the imprints what you have on food. Nothing more.
Yeah, love that.
Everybody of us has food, what they love and what we crave for.
Yeah.
And this food in everybody of us, you probably know exactly what I'm talking right now, like chocolate or whatever. And
Mine's
it's always
cheese. Mine's cheese. Chocolate, I don't care. Cheese, give me a cheese.
Okay. But when you think about cheese, there's always connected with emotions.
Yeah.
The only thing what I do is disconnecting emotions, get the topic healed behind what's behind cheese or what food craving or whatever, and then get less. And when you clear your body through, because your body, even your gut bacteria, has a memory.
Yeah.
When you clear your body, especially your gut, you get rid of all your food cravings. I don't have any food cravings at all. It's just neutral.
Yeah. Wow.
I eat when I feel I'm hungry. I ask my body, okay, which kind of food do you like?
Yeah,
So,
I do the same thing. I thought I
and
was the only one that did that.
yeah, and naturally how should I say, naturally you grab the food what is healthy and good for your body. And I have days where I eat three days behind a certain food. Then I know my body wants it.
Yeah.
So I don't bring any value in it anymore.
Yeah.
And especially, and sometimes it's a little bit challenging because my mom makes really good cakes, and especially in COVID-19 time, her compensation was baking, and I'm like, who is eating all this stuff? But at least we got more and more healthier cakes, and she even wants to bring out now a cooking book, and I'm like, yes, it's okay.
Yeah.
And it's not always about that sweet stuff is bad.
Yeah.
But you can cook without sugar. You can use healthy ingredients, organic ingredients, biological, and also seasonal ingredients, and still can make wonderful stuff out of it.
Yeah. I always say find it strange that people buy things like strawberry flavored when, you know, you can get the actual strawberries and mush it up and have real strawberry flavored. Or even mush up strawberries and put that in, even put that with a bit of cream. If you want to have some fat in your diet, you need fat in the diet.
Yes.
And stick it in the freezer and you've got the strawberry ice cream. That tastes amazing.
That's what I'm doing with banana ice cream.
Oh, I love
a little yogurt, and that's it. I make a lot of myself. We make our own bread, we make our own yogurt and all the things. And is it a lot of time consuming? No.
Yeah.
No, that's the funniest part. And sometimes when you, as you said, when you buy a fruit yogurt, this yogurt never saw fruit.
Yeah.
Real fruit. And I get my people, when I teach them becoming critical and read the ingredients label. And sometimes when you begin to read that, you're like, I know, I don't want to eat this stuff.
Yeah.
There are more E numbers and all this superficial stuff. No, thank you.
It takes a bit of when you go shopping to go and look at all the labels, but you soon get used to the brands and the products that you just go and grab. And you can always do shopping lists now these days with online as well.
Your body and your health will thank you for that. First, because most of the people and most of the time you buy because you're hungry. Yeah. And you buy never go hungry food shopping. This is not a good idea. Not a good idea.
Pile it all in the groceries.
Yes.
So your number one go-to is I've forgotten it already. That's my menopause brain.
Write down all your favorite food. Write down next to favorite food.
All right.
The emotion
journals, everyone.
Yes. And all your emotions next to your favorite food.
Right.
And look at those emotions and ask yourself, where does they come from?
Yeah.
And which age?
Yeah.
Because most of our food related with good memories and emotion from our childhood or from favorite people or from vacation. Things like this where you have a good memory out of it. And that's why we love our bad food things.
Yeah.
I just like that. I need this one.
I'm curious. So we write down all the foods that we want and then we put a value next to them, or, you know, like whether we feel happy, sad, or whatever the emotion goes through. So then how do we then uncouple that emotion with that piece of food?
ask yourself this emotion, because the actually technique, it would take too long to explain now, but take the emotion, write down either the age or the memory with comes to it, and ask yourself, what else can I connect this emotion with something else except of food?
Yeah.
Like meditation, like going on vacation, like massage, like whatever, something else. So that you give it
another thing that gives you that same feeling, and
yes, except
that instead.
Yes, exactly.
So I know that's a bigger topic, that's a bigger, wider topic for you, and more than we can fit in this interview now. But
yet, the first step you can do, and you will find out that most food what we like are related with our childhood, with people we love, and which gives us a certain feeling, and it's actually a compensation of something else.
Yeah.
And and this is so interesting, because we got so much conditioned that we have good feelings with bad food. What about if we have good feelings for good food, which nurture actually our body, which nurture actually this pure self-caring?
Yeah.
And it was so interesting, and I changed everything. And I had a little bit different lifestyle than I have now.
Yeah.
With a lot of junk food, alcohol, and all this stuff, and a speedy living. And today, my blood and also my health is way much better than 20 years ago.
Yeah. Wow.
Only I did nudges. I didn't change radically.
Yeah.
But I did nudges, small things, but continually.
Yeah.
Like endurance and discipline. Yes, maybe we have discipline connected with better mood, but no, every single day. And it doesn't matter if you do a lot, but just do it every single day.
Yeah.
Like with the mirror methods, every single day in front of your mirror.
Building consistency. So put that in your journals as well. So thank you so much for coming on and talking to us today. There's so much in what you're saying, and there's so much more. I feel like we can talk for another 3 hours.
Yes.
But I'm being mindful of the time. So how can people connect with you? Because I really feel like the listeners are going to want to hear more, and they want to dive deeper into this topic. So there's a way that they can connect with you right now, isn't there? You're brewing something.
I'm on social media everywhere, so you can find me with my name, Bernadette Bruckner. On Facebook, I have our own website now for my nutrition style, and also a community, because it's just way much easier when you have someone to exchange.
Yeah.
And the rest, we are building up my website and everything at the moment, because I'm actually created everything for myself. And one day people came to me and asked, and I'm like, I have no idea. I have to find out how I'm doing it, but I just do it. Yeah. And I'm in the middle of getting my books out and all the things, but on Facebook, I just love to give tips, small things, nudges.
You've got a great Facebook group, and what we'll do is we'll put the link on this page to that Facebook group, and then you can go into that group, and if there's something that sparked your interest during this conversation and you want to dive into that more, obviously go and follow Bernadette, and we'll put her links on the page, but also go and join her Facebook group, and this is going to continue your learning on from today. And then you can dive deeper into those topics straight from the horse's mouth.
What I also have, I have podcast about, I call it Podnition, about nutrition, where I invite others and giving small tips as well.
Oh, beautiful. We'll put all those links as well. And so people can continue their journey and learn from someone with so much experience and so much education on all these topics, especially when it comes to the mind. So thank you so much for giving us your time. I know how busy you are, and you've given us your time again. You're very generous, and I want to thank you so much again for being here, and thanks for all the amazing nuggets of gold today.
Thank you.
See you for now. See you next time.
Bye.